Right, I think you can hear me, ne? Okay. Okay, I think you can hear me. Everyone can hear me, right? Okay. Can someone confirm whether you can hear me on the chat? පොඩ්ඩක් chat එකට දාමු ඇහෙනවද කොහොමද කියලා. හරි, okay, right. Then let's start. හරි, okay, we'll be starting within 2 or 3 minutes. So before that, what I want you to do is check whether everything is fine from my side. හරි. මේක ඇහෙන පේන ප්‍රශ්න මොන හරි තියෙනවා නම්, and if you haven't if you have any audio issues or video issues, just let me know. හරි, මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් chat එකට දාන්න. Or else we can continue. Within few minutes we'll be starting the session and we'll be continuing, right? Hari, okay. Right, then we'll start. And if you have any issues, always use the live chat, right? Chat එකට දාන්න හැමතිස්සෙම මොන හරි issues තියෙනවා නම්. And then I will be continuing from here onwards. So it's 7:10. We'll be continuing this until 8:30. And for someone who doesn't know what this is the introductory session for our English medium chemistry class done by myself. And I'll introduce myself. And this is for the Monday batch, for the class which we are done only in English, right? And then at 9 p.m. we will be having the class for the introductory session for the Wednesday batch, which will be done using both Sinhala and English, right? ඕක තමයි කතාව. එතකොට I hope everyone knows what's happening here before joining the class, right? ඕක තමයි වෙන්නේ. හරි. Then we'll continue. We'll start the proceedings and continue. තාම කට්ටිය එනවා live එකට, but never mind, we'll just start and continue. And meanwhile, as I previously said, මොකක් හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් always put it on the chat. If you have any issues regarding A levels or anything regarding our classes, you can ask those later. We will be having a Q&A session at the end, like a 10-minute, 15 session. There you can ask any questions if you want, and I have pinned a comment on the chat as well. On that, there is our contact number. You can contact that number and always get your questions answered as well later. Hari, ඕක තමයි කතාව, right? Then I hope that's clear. Then we can start today's session. So first of all, I'll introduce myself, right? And from there onwards, we will be talking about what we have achieved up to now as a class. අපි පන්තියක් විදියට මොනවාද කරලා තියෙන්නේ, our results, and then afterwards I will be introducing you the class plan. Then from there onwards, there will be several segments, and finally we will be having the Q&A session, right? So I am Pasun Chammika. For the students and parents who doesn't know me, I am Pasun Chammika, and I am an undergraduate at University of Moratuwa, third year. And currently we have been conducting advanced level English medium chemistry classes for about 4 to 5 years, right? That's about me. That's a brief introduction about myself. හරි ඕක තමයි මං ගැන කියනවා නම් කියන්න තියෙන්නේ. And then from there onwards, there are several things which I expect you to inform about our classes and what we have done, what we will be doing, and everything. හරිද? Then first of all, yeah, what we have done, and also before continuing this session, I warmly welcome everyone for A-levels. Hari ogalanta me A-levels again. A-levels should be a new experience. Now, some students might have joined your A-level classes. Some might have gone for a class or two. Some might haven't, and some might be wondering whether you are at the correct place, whether you need to do maths or bio, and then if you are doing maths or bio, whether you need to go for classes online or for physical classes. There might be a lot of questions, and at the end of this session, all of those questions will be answered. මේ ඔක්කොටම ඔයාලට උත්තර හම්බ වෙනවා. And also at the end of this session, you will understand that whether you need to continue this class, this chemistry class or not. මේ class එකද option එක, or else is it not. You will understand the entire idea. You will get an entire idea about what you need to do. හරි. ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් ඇති, මොනවාද මෙතන වෙන්නේ, මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ, ගොඩක් කතන්දර ඇති. Everything will be sorted. හරි. We'll go step by step. So the first thing is now minute. Yeah. So the first thing is regarding A-levels. A-level ගැන. This introductory session, you are new to A-levels, you need to understand what type of exam you are joining. ඔයා මොන වගේ exam එකකටද join වෙන්නේ. You need to understand that. That's the most important thing. That's the first thing you need to understand, right? When it comes to A-levels, you have all the students here, right? All the students here are either students who are willing to do maths for A-levels or bio for A-levels, right? ඔකනේ කතාව. ඔයා you might be willing to do maths or bio. Then if you are doing maths, it will be maths, biology and physics. If you are doing maths, physics and chemistry. If you are doing biology, then it will be biology, physics and chemistry. Then the first thing you need to know, ඔයා මේ class එකට එන්න කලින්, before understanding even whether a class is good or not, you need to understand what is A-level. මේ A-level කියන්නේ මොකක්ද, and what type of a 3-year period this will be. How difficult is it to get a good result, or isn't it difficult to get a good result? What are the costs you need to bear by doing A-levels within this 3-year period? What are the advantages after getting a good result? නිකම්ම හොඳ result එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ. You need to get a good result simply because you will be getting several benefits. ඔය කතාව you need to learn. That's the first thing. So to get an idea, I'll share you the A-level results later, right? I'll share you the A-level results later. For the A-level examination, I have the 2023 GCE A-level examination results. But before that, I'll share you few basic statistics which is more understandable. So what idea එකක් මේ A-level කියලා මොන වගේ exam එකකටද ඔයා වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නේ කියලා, right? You will get an idea on what type of an exam you are sitting for. හරි. ඔක තමයි ඔතන තියෙන කතාව. Then yeah. Then when it comes to A-levels, the first thing is, let's break down this for maths and bio. Now, some might know these general stats, but to make sure that everyone knows this, I'll just go through these briefly before introducing our plan and what we have done again. මේකේ කතාව කියලා ඉන්න ඕනේ. අපි කියන එකපාර පටන් ගත්ත ගමන් කියන්න බෑනේ. හරි. That's why. So when it comes to A-levels, generally per year, 40,000 students write for the math stream. This can vary a little bit. It can be 43,000, 38,000, but generally this is the number. And for bio, the same case. Hari? Around 35,000 to 42,000, 43,000 will be the number. So we'll take it as 40,000. This is the total amount of students from all the mediums, doesn't Sinhala medium, English medium, and Tamil medium. And when it comes to English medium, around 10 to 15% or maximum 20%, around 20% students will be sitting for A levels in English medium, but it will be mostly around 10 to 15%. That will be the percentage of English medium students. So, idea එකක් තියෙනවානේ කොහොමද මේකේ කතන්දරය කියලා, right? Then yeah, out of these 40,000 students, you need to understand how many will achieve good results and how many won't, and accordingly you need to understand the depth of this exam. And also, before I mention the A-level results, you need to understand that the majority of these 80,000 are students who think that they have a good O-level result. Generally, the majority of the students who are joining to do maths and bio are students who have got good results for O-level, right? Who are thinking that they will get a good result, but that's not a qualification. I mean, if you think that you won't get a good result for O-level, that you will get an average result, that's okay. There's no relationship between your O-level result and A-level results to be certain, right? That's a fact. There's no relationship, but most of the students who are writing for maths and bio, you need to understand, have good results. O-level හොද්දට කරන්න නිකන් අර බැඩ බැරි. ඒකම බැඩ බැරි නෙමෙයි, but you get the idea. Then out of these 80,000 students, then you have, if we break down this subject wise, right? If we break down this subject wise, you have physics, and then you have chemistry, right? You have physics and you have chemistry. For physics, roughly around 80,000 students will participate. So you get the idea, right? And for chemistry also, it's the same. Right? So these are the numbers island-wide. I won't be talking about statistics specified for English medium students. I'll just give you the general idea when it comes to your A-level examination. And that's more convenient. Okay. Then, for each of these subjects, I'll give you the normal A percentages. Now, you know, to get an A pass, you need to get 75 marks. Everyone knows that, but that can change a little bit depending on that year's performance, right? We will be understanding those later about the ESET score. Everything will be taught. You will be knowing, when you are sitting for your A levels, you will be able to calculate your ESET score, right? That's nothing to do with chemistry, but you need to know the entire background about these A levels before getting a good results, right? Then when it comes to the A percentages, I'll shortly share you the results. But before that, normally the subject with the lowest A percentage is physics, right? The subject with the lowest A percentage is physics. It's around 2.5% to 3.5%. Very rarely it will climb up to 4.5%, 5%. Right? Recently, in 1 year, I think it's 2023 or 2022, the A percentages were nearly 4.5%. But generally, it's around 2.5 to 3.5%. That's for physics, right? So if 100 students participate for A levels from physics, around 2 students or 3 students will get an A pass. A percentage. That's number one, right? That's number one. Then we have the other subjects are relatively okay when it comes to the A percentages. For maths, it's around 4% to 5%. I'll write 5%. For bio, it's around 5% to 6%. So I'll write 6%. For chemistry, it's normally around 7%. It might even go to 9%, 8% as well. So as you can see, considering the island-wide results, normally the A percentages are higher for chemistry, but that's not even a high number. That's relatively higher. Comparing with physics, it's around like two times or 3 times better in certain years, but you get the idea, right? So these are the A percentages. And then if we look at the other results, if we consider the B's, C's, S's, and F letters, so giving you the most important 2 statistics will be how many students will achieve 3 A's. Now you might be wondering, I want to go to engineering faculty. I want to go to medicine faculty. Some might want to go to Moratu engineering. Some might want to attend Colombo medicine specifically. Then what result should I get? Those things will be informed later. But the general standard, a good result is considered as 3 A's, right? Now, before I go to the stats, you need to remember that this is not an attempt to scare you. Always, this is the reality. Now, A level is difficult, right? Like when you are starting A levels, when you are doing maths and when you are doing bio, You hear the noise. The noise says that A level is difficult. Some say it's nothing to worry about. Some say it's unnecessary committing that much. Okay, ලොකු කතාවක් තියෙනවනේ. Now you are sitting and listening to what I am saying, but I am not the one who is I am not the only one who is giving you an opinion, right? So you have a lot of thoughts. You have a lot of feelings. I am just giving you the idea on the reality. මම මේ ඇත්ත කතා කරනවා විතරයි. You need not to be scared, because even though the percentages are like this, once we show our results, you will understand that getting an A pass is not a big deal, right? It's difficult. Obviously, it's difficult, but it's not like impossible. හරි ඒක පස්සේ කතා කරනවා බය කරන්න නෙමෙයි මේ හදන්නේ. This is just the general idea. මොකද්ද මේකේ? You need to understand the depth before starting a certain task, right? Okay. Then yeah, right. Then the next thing, 3As. How many students do get 3As? Now you need to understand, if the A percentage for physics is around this number, the percentages for 3As should be less than that, right? Because there can be students who get a A pass for physics, but they don't get an A pass for either chemistry or biology or maths. So the general 3A percentage should be even less than this number. So it's around normally 2%. It's normally around 2%. Roughly per year, the amount of students who get 3As is around 2%. If 100 students write, 2 students will get the 3A score. And then, if we consider the failures, now this is these are the stop scorers. වැඩිම ලකුණු ගන්න set එක. These are about the A's. Then we'll see the other side of it. අපි මැද පොඩ්ඩක් අමතකව we'll forget about the BCs, S's and S's. Then we'll talk about the F's. How many students will actually fail A levels? Now, what's the pass mark? 35. The pass mark is 35. If you are unable to get 35, this is again revised a little bit. It can be 32, it can be 33, but generally it won't change a lot. So if a student scores less than 35, then what will happen? That student will fail the exam. So normally, subject by subject, the failures, again, I'll share you the failures. Normally for bio, physics and chemistry, it's around 40%. It's around 40%. 40% students do fail A levels from each subject, not all the subjects. 40% of the students fail bio, 40% fail chemistry. There can be overlaps, but that's the idea. And when it comes to failing all 3 subjects, again, F3 එනවා කියන එක. Now, only 2% students will get 3As, and then 18%, normally around 18% students will get 3Fs. So you get the idea. These are the numbers, right? Normally, these are the general stats. Now, so the first thing is we are understanding, the first part of this session, we are understanding what A level is, what type of a task, what type of a course this is within this 3-year period, not even 3 years, roughly 2.5 year period, what you are going to achieve. Right? Clear? I hope that's clear. Right? That's the first thing you need to understand. Hari. Right. And also, if you have any questions regarding what I am saying now, nothing regarding anything else, I'll give you a quick Q&A session. You can send a message to the chat, right? Doesn't matter. I'll answer it later. And always understand that when I'm live streaming, most of the students might not know it. Even when I was doing A-level, I didn't know this. Those days, we didn't even have online classes. There wasn't an online class option as well. But since I'm live streaming this, there's a 15-second lag, right? So you need to understand that when you're asking questions, I might be replying with a delay. Right? So this is the basic idea of what A-level is, right? So now you are starting a little bit difficult task, right? And think about why students get this much low results as a percentage, as a country. Is this the most difficult exam? Or absolutely not. If you attend university, doesn't matter what course you are doing, always the first semester exam, even the first semester exam is way more difficult than this. Then you need to think about why students are achieving this much low results. I මෙච්චර result අඩු කියලා හිතලා බලන්න. It's not because the exam is difficult, it's something else. The exams cannot be, even in universities, the results are this worse. මෙච්චර charter නෑ results. You need to think why. You need to think. You will, if you are able to get an answer, if you are able to think about it, then like a certain part of your result of for A levels will be guaranteed. Because if you avoid one common mistake, which we'll be discussing that later, most of your A level results will be guaranteed. All right. So that's the first thing regarding our session. What A level is. What A level is. Then, before you join with our classes and before you even listen to what I am saying, you need to understand what we have done. Most of you haven't heard my name, right? Before you see one of my advertisement or before one of your friend recommends us, most of the students who have joined here should have joined because of the previous recommendations from your brothers and sisters. Some might have seen us on Facebook or Instagram or through a leaflet, a very minimum advertising we do. Some methods might be like that. Give me a minute. Right, you can hear me, ne? The audio is not an issue, right? Okay, so yeah. So the most of you haven't, I guess that most of you haven't heard of us, haven't seen us previously, ne? අපිව දැකලා නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කලින් අපිව දැකලා නැහැ. And being honest, we are new to this field. Relatively, we are new. So the first thing parents are concerned, even you as a student might be concerned. Who is this person? Why do we need to attend this person's class? Why do we want to listen what he's saying? He's new. He's still an undergraduate, right? Now, some parents might be wondering that is it good to send my child to a class where a school teacher is teaching, or might be concerned about whatever the academic qualification, right? The only reason for me being an undergraduate is still I am young, right? I am definitely getting those academic qualifications, but still I am young, right? I can't do anything about it, right? I did my A levels in 2020. But it's my responsibility to show you what we have done, and then I invite everyone to compare these results with anyone. I'm not boasting, but you need to understand the reality. සමහර විට මෙතන ඉන්න කට්ටිය වෙන introductory sessions වලට ගිහින් ඇති. They might be saying they are the best. Everyone says we are the best, right? It's your responsibility to compare and check through results. Results is the only method where you can compare whether who is the best. So I invite you everyone to compare these results with any English medium class. Any English medium class. Doesn't matter where the class is, whether it's physically online or whatever. You can compare these results. Then you will understand why you need to join us even within this very short period, right? Within this very short period, you will be able to understand what we have been able to achieve. So I'll quickly share you the results. I hope the screen will be clear when I'm sharing results. So, wait a minute, right? Okay, so what you are seeing here is, right? Before paying attention here, what you are seeing here is, since we started our A-level classes for the 2022 A-level batch. That was the first A-level batch which I have conducted. And up to now, we have only results of 2 A-level batches. මේ A-level batches 10ක් 12ක් අපිට නැහැ. We only have 2 batches. And being honest, think about it, right? When I was starting my classes, I was new, right? Actually, I didn't have a proper idea on how to conduct classes, how to do extra sessions. So we just had the normal class session. නිකන් class එකක් තිබ්බා. And then we did few papers here and there. That was it. You get the idea, right? Now, if you are a student, now if you are thinking as a A-level student, now you are attending A-levels, you have no idea, right? You just do a few stuff here and there. You don't have the proper experience. So I'm sharing what we have done with a very minimum amount of students, because we started A-levels in 2022 and 2023 for the A-level batches with a very minimum amount of experience, literally no experience, with no guidance, with a very minimum amount of sessions. Now, later onwards, I will be sharing you what sessions we will be doing except for the theory program. Theory program is just one main program. Apart from that, we will be having paper writing sessions. We will be discussing term tests. There will be special programs. There will be weekly revised program. There will be a lot of programs, right? එකී නොකී හැමදේම මේ class එකේ අපි කරනවා for that under the theory class. No extra classes under the theory class, right? So these results are achieved without any of those classes. We only had the theory class and the paper class. And this is RISA results from a batch of 150 students. These are not the entire results. These are just the top 100 of Colombo. Colombo Mulla Siya me. Colombo Mulla Siya 2022 and 2023. Now, if you are a parent or a student who is from another district, apart, not from Colombo, the most competitive district is Colombo, right? You can compare that with if you have the district ranks and island ranks, you can get it. The most competitive district is Colombo. We only had physical classes those days. So you can see, I didn't even know how to conduct an online class. That much inexperience. But this is what we have produced. Without an online class, only conducting classes in Colombo, with no experience, with no extra class, this is what we have done. So you can see, in 2022, we were able to achieve 9 out of 100 Colombo top ranks. You can check anywhere if anyone has achieved that. 9 out of 100 Colombo top 100. That's number one. Check any English medium class. And then in 2023, we were able to achieve 13 out of top 100 when it comes to the Colombo district. Everything has been published here. I'll send this to the group as well. So up to now, that's what we have achieved. And for 2020, not only about top rankers, right? Being honest, some of the top rankers are gifted. Some friends of yours actually have the born talent. They can get a good rank, right? So it's not only about top rankers. When it comes to 2022 batch, 60 students from our classes sat for their A levels. Out of that, 30 got A passes, right? So for chemistry, what was the A percentage? 8% in all island. For us, it's 50% A percentages. And then when it comes to 2023 batch, out of 80, 38 students were able to get A passes, roughly 50%. So it's not only about sharing you the best ranks. It's not only about the perfect students, right? But we were able to build students from the 0 level and give them an A pass. So you need to remember, I invite anyone, any parent who is concerned about me being young or me being not an school teacher or me not having a certain academic qualification. Without any of those, check what we have done. You can compare this with any class. I guarantee you won't find any class better than this, right? Result wise. So that's one thing. It's not only about result, but result is one main thing which you need to consider. Right? So the first thing is you understood what A level is, right? You understood what A level is, what is the actual story. And then I guess you understood what you will achieve by joining our classes, what high level results we have produced, right? Without any experience, without any extra class, anything. Idea එකක් තියෙනවානේ. Then if that's clear, right? If that's understood, then we'll move on. පළවෙනි කතන්දර දෙක okay. Now I hope that you got an idea on why you need to join our classes. And then there was a question being asked on whether it's better to join online or physically. That will be addressed later. That's again a major concern among students. Online the honda, physically the honda. So that's number 2. And then number 3 about our plan. Right? Number 3 about our plan. What we are going to do within this period and how that is being planned. Right? The second one. So actually it's the third one, right? We discussed about A level, then what we have done, and then what you will get, our plan, the class plan of us. Right. When it comes to the class plan, there are several things you need to know. The first thing is, what's the most important thing when it comes to A levels? It is to cover the syllabus within an adequate time, right? It shouldn't be covering the syllabus for the sake. Right? You need to understand your capacity and then you need to cover the syllabus accordingly. But then it's not covering the syllabus at the very final day and then doing few questions here and there and going for your A levels. Right? So for our theory class, we will be finishing the syllabus 6 months, at least 6 months prior to your A level. And now again, in most of the classes, this comment is given. Anyone can say in the introductory session, we will be finishing the syllabus 6 months prior to our A levels, right? What can you do? Can you go and check it? No, you can't, right? So anyone can say this. But if you want, I can share. I will actually share. I will share the 2026 class plan, and for the 2027 class plan also I'll share it. Right? I'll share these two class plans to your WhatsApp group, the 2027 and the 2026 class plans. And now in April, at the end of April for the 2026 batch, we will be starting inorganic. Now you might not know what inorganic is. Again, about the syllabus, I'll be giving you a brief introduction. But actually, we are on track to finish the syllabus for the 2026 students in February next year, which is exactly 6 months, considering that they will be having their A levels in August. Right. So 2026 අයට අපි ඒක කරලා පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. We will be on track. We are actually on track. If you want, you can check. So the most important thing you need to understand it when you are participating for A level classes, don't trust anyone, especially the people who are teaching. එහෙම විශ්වාස කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Don't trust anyone blindly. Whatever promise is being given, clarify it whether it's true. ඕන දෙයක් මෙතන ඇවිල්ලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. I can say I'm finishing the syllabus 1 year prior to your level exams. I will be finishing the syllabus within 6 months. Anything can be said, but you need to check whether that's true or not. And then there was a special request from few students whether they can finish the syllabus within 1 year. Right? Some students are interested about finishing the syllabus within 1 year and participating for the A levels 1 year prior to their actual year. Yes, that can be arranged. If there are those kind of special requests, let me know. You can send a message to our number, and then a crew member will inform you the procedure on how that's possible. Right? There will be special programs, but that's not the general program. But if there is anyone who is interested, those things can be arranged. Right? එහෙම අපේ plans එකේ පැත්තේ flexibility එක maximum එකටම තියෙනවා. Then that's the first thing. Right? Our syllabus will be covered 6 months prior. Then what else you need to know? Everything regarding the class times, everything will be informed later. හරි ඒව පස්සේ කතා කරගමු. The next thing is what will be our weekly program. Now you know all the A-level classes are weekly programs. It will be a weekly program. You attend a class for a month, there will be 4 weeks, then you will attend 4 classes. That's it. Right? Then you will be having the basic thing you know by now. Most of you have seen our advertisements, I guess, or the graphics or the info we have shared on WhatsApp. So our class will be happening for 3 hours, and that's enough, right? 3 hours is the standard limit when it comes to focusing. We will be extending the classes for 4 hours later, but normally it will be 3 hours. A 3-hour class will be held. And apart from that, a special program which is known as the weekly revision program will be happening from May onwards. After the very first month, this program will be happening. The weekly revision, which means we will be giving you a weekly paper which revises the entire content which was done on the previous week. This will be happening until at least a year. Afterwards, we will be starting our paper classes. Then not even a year, within 8 months or 9 months, we will be starting our paper classes. Then this program will be ended. But until that, this weekly paper will be given, which is a small paper where we expect you to write it weekly, which will be revising the entire content which we have done up to now. ඕක තමයි කතාව. එතකොට අර හැම week එකේම in every week the content which we will be doing will be revised, because one of the most common mistakes or one of the most common issues A-level students will face is when you learn the lesson, you are good at it. You can even do the questions. You do few questions and then you are satisfied. After few months, you check this unit, you can remember nothing. You remember nothing. Then you need to again do it again. You need to repeat it. Then it will compile your workload. ඒක avoid කරන්න we will be giving you a weekly paper. Right? So this will be the weekly program from our side. Then what are the specialties? What are the special programs you will be getting entitled with our theory class? Especially, we will be focusing on papers. Apart from our theory class, apart from the theory sessions, it will be only papers. We will be doing a lot of papers. This class is paper-based. According to my opinion, that's why we have actually achieved a lot of results. So when it comes to papers, the weekly paper will be given. Weekly paper එක කොහොමද දෙනවා පටන් ගනිද්දි ඒක හරි. Weekly paper will be given. That's number 1. And then from there onwards, we will be having a term test discussion program. What's a term test discussion program? Term test discussion program will be happening before each and every term test. Now, term test is actually one of the most important components of your A-level, right? Because that's the only method you can analyze yourself with the students, with the same students you will be writing for A-levels. Now, if we have the paper classes, you will be writing papers with us, but you get the idea, right? So we will be having a term test discussion before each and every term test. So we will be having 6 term test discussions. Under that, we will be doing is we will be giving you papers which will be created using previous term test questions of most schools, good questions, and then those papers will be discussed. For 2026 also, we have completed 1 term test discussion because they have only had 1 term test yet. So you can check these. You can cross check. The weekly paper program is not happening for them, so you can't check that. But everything else will be happening, so you can check those. Always check that. That's important. So the first thing is the term test discussion. Then you will be having the past paper discussion. What is a past paper discussion? This is one of the most common questions asked from parents, especially whether you are discussing past papers. Of course, past papers is the most important thing when it comes to papers. Now, term test papers can be given, model papers can be given, unit papers can be given, weekly papers can be given. But at the end of your A-level journey, you will be writing a past paper, right? Past paper. That standard is expected from you. Am I correct? Right. Then, what needs to happen is this past paper discussion will be happening once we finish at least 4 units. Then past paper discussion will be implemented to the system, and we will be discussing all the past papers from 2000 onwards. And the specialty is that it's not about just discussing the papers, right? Now, you might not know this as parents or students, you might not understand some of these ideas, but when it comes to past papers from 2000 to 2025, it's not just discussing all the papers, right? It should be obvious for you all the papers have less value, especially for chemistry. Now, if someone says that doing papers from 1980 is better than doing papers from 2000, I won't agree. The older the paper becomes, the value is less, especially for a subject like chemistry, because it's more theory based. If those theory aren't on your syllabus, then why do you want to do those papers? There are a lot of myths when it comes to A-level chemistry, which is circulating among students and parents. Something that if someone is doing papers from 1980, then that's good. No, that might not be. So when it comes to a paper program, the paper program will be consisting 2 parts, 2000 to 2012, 11, and then 2012 to actually 3 parts, 2019, and then 2019 to whatever the paper you will be writing. So since you are 2027 students, we'll be discussing the 2026 paper. So these 3 categories are built looking at your syllabus, how the syllabus has been changed when it comes to the papers, and how the paper structure has been changed. Everything has been considered. And the weight will be given here, but these paper sets will be also discussed. We won't start from 1980 and continue all the papers and say we did a lot of papers. That's not what A-level is. A-level is not about hard working. You will understand that later, right? Don't think working a lot of hours, putting a lot of hours, right? Going for a lot of classes, attending a lot of sessions will get you a good result. Actually, it will get you a bad result. That's the truth. You will understand those later. Paper discussion, past paper discussion idea. Then what else do we have? Right. So we have the weekly paper, then we have the term test discussion, then we have the past paper discussion, and finally, you have the model paper discussion. Model paper discussion. Under this program, I myself, with a crew who got good A-level, who gets good A-level results, will be creating these papers. By the time you are sitting for your A-levels, you will be at least doing 100 model papers. Again, you can check those. For the 2026, we started doing papers 2 weeks ago. So we have more than enough time to do more than 100 papers. At least I will be doing 100. So I'm always giving you the minimum because I don't want to give you promises which I can't, which I might be unable to do. At least 100 model papers will be done. Right? So these are the papers which and all of these papers will be discussed, right? It's not just giving the paper and that's it. No, the papers will be marked. All the papers which we do will be ranked. Therefore, you will understand your placement when it comes to this competition. And then there will be an analysis of papers. You might not understand what an analysis is. You can understand those. Each and every question will be analyzed For MCQs, reviews will be given, not only the marking, the reviews explaining how to get this answer, and then the paper will be also discussed. Now you might be thinking, how can this much of work be done? You can see, available, right? All of these will be done. And most of the, now if you are concerned about whether I have to join a lot of sessions per week and will that affect my A-level class schedule or something, believe me, even for the 2026 students, still they are joining one session per week, right? But most of these have been done. We are having classes for 3 weeks, 3 hours, but still most of these have been done. Because in my classes, I don't take time to talk unnecessary stuff or say unnecessary stories. We have 3-hour classes, the entire 3 hours will be taught. මැද පොඩි ඉන්ටර්වල් එකක් තිබ්බ එච්චරයි. මුළු වෙලාවම උගන්වනවා. Then everything is possible. මේ ඔක්කොම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right. Then that's about what you will get when it comes to there's one more thing which I forgot actually. Entitled to your theory class, we will be having a free session program which any student will be able to join. All units will be revised after one unit is done. Now, let's assume we finish the first unit. Then that unit will be revised again within few days through an online session. Now, again, you can check this with the 2026. This is actually a difficult thing to do, right? එක unit එකක් උගන්නලා ඒක ආයෙ මුල ඉඳන් revise කරනවා. Each and every unit will be revised. We have finished 4 units and we are currently doing the 5th unit, as I said previously, for the 2026 batch. Up to now, we have revised 3 units, right? 3 units have been revised up to now. The 4th unit hasn't been done yet. 3 units revised. The idea of that is, if you miss something when it comes to studying the unit, then you can revise it quickly. You can't learn everything from A to Z, then you need not to join the theory class. That's not the idea. To make sure that everyone is being pushed to a good result. Always remember, it's difficult to get a good result for A-level. So you might struggle. Most of the students do struggle in A-levels, right? So it's not about just teaching for the students who are easily doing or who are good at A-levels. So it's my responsibility to carry everyone. Therefore, we have sessions like this as well. And also, one more thing. Always, all the students will have the ability to clarify anything. One-to-one student attention will be given, and if that's in the class. When it comes to, if you have a question not in the class time as well, you will be given access to ask questions, and then our crew members will be reply. Again, you get questions, right? Normally in classes, they don't provide that facility, right? In our class, you will be able to simply send a text message, and mostly our crew members or I myself, if it is a difficult issue, will be sorting your issues, right? Facilities So this is what you will be getting within this period. And one more thing, also the practicals, chemistry practicals have a very low importance when it comes to your A-level papers. You might not understand it why, but those things will be also done. The practicals, like practical lab but all the practicals with the videos will be shown through a smart board. There are real-time experience. Even though practicals won't be asked for your A-levels, generally they won't be asked. That's how the chemistry paper works. But the idea will be given. For physics, it's different, right? For physics, it's different. But for chemistry, that's the idea. Okay, then I think that's what you will get from our class. Mainly TNA. And then few more things. All right. And there's a question about TUTS. TUTS can question. So I'll answer those. No need to wait until the Q&A session, right? When it comes to the TUTS, physical students will be given the TUT. TUTS high quality TUTs I think no need to say those. So the physical students will be given the TUTs. For the online students, the TUTs will be delivered. TUTs will be delivered for each and every unit. It's another processing. That's about TUTs. For the online students, always the TUTs will be delivered. Then that's, I think, the 4th subtopic which you will actually the plan. Yeah, the plan. On ඔයාට මොනවද මේ ඇතුලේ හම්බ වෙන්නේ අපි කොච්චරලා කරලාද? Okay, it's roughly I think 40 minutes වගේ. හරි. Right. Then the next one. Right. I will give you a brief idea on the subject, how the paper works. Now, no need to remember or memorize any of these, right? No need to memorize any of these. Just get familiar, try to get familiar with these topics, right? That's it. That's enough about the chemistry paper and the syllabus. Or the chemistry paper and the syllabus. So I will be sharing you the result sheet to our WhatsApp group, the 2026 plan, if you want to check. And then I will be sending the 2027 A-level plan, right? So the entire plan from today to the day we are finishing your syllabus has been planned. There can be slight changes, but no matter what, we will be finishing the syllabus 6 months prior. Okay, පොඩි වෙනස්කම් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. The orders of the units can be changed. ඒ වෙලාවට හිතන මේකත් එක්ක. The goal will be achieved. Right. When it comes to your A-level chemistry syllabus, you have 14 units. We have 14 units, right? Then also you have 5 types of chemistry. No need to like even know these by the time you can learn those later. It's general chemistry, physical chemistry, inorganic, organic, and industrial chemistry. Those are the 5 components of chemistry. And then you have 14 units under those. The first 3 units are general chemistry. Then there is a structure and bonding, atomic structure, chemical calculations. There are units. No need to remember those, or you need to understand those. You just need to know that there are 5 types of chemistry. If you want, I won't give you the entire 14 units, but just to give you an idea, out of those 14 units, 3 units contain the most amount of marks, which is inorganic, which is the 6th unit, which is organic, unit 10, 7 to 10. So even though you have 14 units, 4 of that is here. 7, 8, 9, 10. All 4 are organic. Right? Then you have equilibrium. Equilibrium is the 12th unit. Right? These 3 units contain the most amount of marks. Around 65% of your entire paper will be given from here. So the first few units are the building blocks, which will be building the basics. A-level theory වලට එන්න බෑ. So there will be some kind of basics which you need to understand how the chemistry works. And then you have the 4th and 5th, and then the main units. So this is the idea. And also there was a question asked on, does O-level chemistry matter? O-level chemistry ඕනෙද මේ වැඩේට? Yes, O-level chemistry does matter, but no need to be afraid if you, right? No need to be afraid if you can't remember anything from O-level chemistry. Those things will be taught whenever it's required. So let's say if you can't remember the concept of mole, which is highly important in the 3rd unit, then the O-level theory will be taught, and then we will be doing the A-level theory part. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So if you are concerned about I am not good at O-level chemistry, now what I am going to do, එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. So අවුලක් නැහැ. Then this is the syllabus. Then if I go into detail about your paper, the paper structure is something like this. I'll briefly explain. I won't take time because you won't be even seeing a full paper until at least 1 more year. You won't see a paper like this because you can't, if after finishing 2 units, can you rewrite a A-level paper? No, we can't. Therefore, you won't see the paper for a certain time. So I'll just give you a brief idea. A chemistry paper consists of 50 the first paper 1. Shall I move to another slide? Oh. Paper 1 consists 50 MCQs. It contains 50 marks. That's it. Simple as that. Lazy. And each and every MCQ contains 5 answers. Now for scholarship, you had 3 answers. For levels, you had 4. Now you have 5. Once the curriculum gets advanced, the papers also gets advanced structure-wise as well. Then for paper 2, the second paper, or as commonly known as the essay paper, now this is commonly known as A part of the paper. A part. MCQ එකට අපි A part එක කියලා කියන්නේ. And then for B part, and sorry, paper 2 or the essay paper contains B part and C part. Now this paper is 2 hours long. This paper is 3 hours and 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is given to select questions. I think even in all hours that is been allocated by now. I'm not sure, but this is how it works. The B part is known as the structured essay paper, and the C part is known as the essay paper. Clear? This is the structured essay paper, and this is the essay paper. Are there several questions being asked? හරි ඒක අපි පස්සේ බලමු. Should we purchase the A-level resource books මම කතා කරනවා recordings එකක් කතා කරන්න. හරි. Then it's a structured essay and the essay. The structured essay consists 4 structured essays. The essay again the actually here මෙතන මේ sorry, it's not ABC. Sorry, my bad. මෙහෙම කඩා ගන්න. This is A. The essay part is being divided to B and C. Sorry. මරතුණා. Then for the essay paper, B part contains question number 5, 6 and 7. C part contains question number 8, 9 and 10. All 4 should be answered. All 4 should be answered. 2 out of 3 should be answered. 2 out of 3 should be answers. Any 2 out of these 3 should be answers. So altogether 4 questions should be answered here. Each structured essay contains 100 marks. Therefore, you will be getting 400 marks. Here, it's 100 into 4, 400. Here, each essay contains 150 marks. 150 into 4, you will get 600 marks. Altogether, you will be getting 1000 marks. That 1000 will be divided into 20 and then converted to 50. So this 50 and this 50 will be taken as your final mark. So one MCQ values 1 mark. When it comes to your second paper, 20 marks in the essay values 1 mark. So you get the idea. You might think that the MCQ is more important. This sort of correct. Right? So that's the idea. Then if we consider the entire paper, the total mark of the paper is not 100 because as you can see, we have opted not to write these questions. So analyzing the paper, we will be analyzing the papers later. In our paper classes, we will be informing you on how to analyze the paper. The most common question students will face later is that I am working, but my marks aren't improving. That's the worst question. Because you know that you are working, you are putting all the effort, but you are not getting marks. That analyzing part will be done later. But you need to understand that if someone says that from inorganic 20 marks will be given for your paper, that's not out of 100. Why? Because you can opt not to write the inorganic question. Then, if someone says this much of marks is being allocated for a certain lesson, that's out of all of these questions, which is 415 marks. You can do the calculation if you want. So the total has been allocated as 150, considering all 4 structured essays and all 6 essays. Out of these 115, you will be opting not to write two essays. Therefore, the total marks will be 100. Clear? The total will be 100. Right? That's the idea. That's the first thing you need to know. Then, give me a minute. Is it clear? Then clear. This is how the paper works. And I won't go question by question. And there will be a structure. The first question will be given from this unit. Second question is from inorganic. The third question is from physical chemistry. Fourth is from organic. You won't get the idea. You can't even remember those. Now you have a brief idea on how the paper works and how the syllabus works and when we will be finishing the syllabus as well. And yeah. The next thing is regarding what documents you need to have. So this is the fourth one about the paper and the chemistry syllabus. The fourth one we discussed paper and the chemistry syllabus. Then the next one, what documents you need to have. What documents What documents? One thing, now these aren't urgent. May documents then when I say you need to have these documents, no need to go and buy these now. මෙහෙම දැම්ම ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Shape එකේ හිමින් සැරේ ගන්න. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. Most of these documents aren't necessary when it comes to our classes because most of these will be provided. හරිද? ඒත් ඉතින් according to my policy in A levels always don't depend on a class. We will make sure that everything is given and you will get an A pass if you work well. But from your side, don't expect that from us. ඔයා මේ documents ටික පුළුවන් නම් ගන්න, but not really important because we will be doing all of this, but ඕනනම් ගන්න. The one thing is the resource book. We will be teaching using the resource book, which means all the points and all the important points, even which are not on the resource book, will be taught. But if possible, buy the resource book. So the national body to buy the resource book is the NIE Maharagama, which is the National Institution of Education. Then in some bookshops also you can buy this. Even on their site you can get the soft copy, but then you need to check whether it's the latest version. I think they have updated. I'll inform you about those later. But if you want to get a soft copy, because most times at the NIE the books aren't available within Hattie. Then if you are taking a soft copy, you need to check whether that's the up to date, because most of the previously site wasn't updated, but I think that has been updated now. And also I'll share you a few locations where you can get these resource books. It's not a big issue. It's not a big issue actually. Those things will be informed later. That's a resource book. That's about the resource book. Then the next thing you need to have is the Pesuru book. Now Pesuru is actually a brand. හරිද? ඒක මේ නමක් නිකන් singer ඒ වගේ එකක්. Soft Logic වගේ නමක්. It's not a thing, it's a brand. But according to our opinion, the only one who does this is Pesuru, right? If you can find someone else who replaces this, then it doesn't matter. The idea of a Pesuru book is it has classified MCQs from each unit. No need to buy the structured essay and essay book. If you want, you can buy those as well. But specially buy the MCQ books for chemistry, physics, and biology. For maths, you don't have MCQs. At least buy the MCQ book for those three. For bio, check whether it's up to date. But at least buy for chemistry and physics. It will be important in the future. Right? The Pesuru book. Clear? The Pesuru book will be important. That's one thing you need to know. It's a past paper classification. Once you finish the unit 1, we will be doing the past papers as well. But if you want, you can do the first unit MCQs given on the Pesuru book. If then next you need to have the chemistry past paper book. This is really important. Chemistry past paper book. Check when you are buying a past paper book whether which age range, which year range it contains. Normally, if you can find a book which contains papers from 2023 to, let's say, at least 2020, 2012 again, shape, that's enough. You can't get the 2024. I don't think that has been updated yet. 2025 කොහොමත් තාම තිබුණ නැහැ levels. ඒවා පස්සේ බලන්න පුළුවන්. මේකත් urgent නැහැ because no need it now. You can buy it later. But remember these things. Right? When you are buying a past paper book, check whether the marking has been properly structured. In some publications, they have just written the entire answer and given the final marks. Then you don't know the part marks. මෙහෙම ලකුණු කඩලා නැහැ. මේ ඔක්කොම කියලා දෙනවා. හරි අපි ලකුණු කැඩෙන හැටි, how to mark your paper, everything will be taught. But when you are buying a past paper book, check whether they have properly structured the marks when it comes to the marking scheme. හරි ඒක බලන්න එක important. Right? That's one more thing you need to understand. These are regarding the documents. Right? These are regarding the documents you need to have before starting your A levels. This is for chemistry especially. For physics, there can be few more books related to practicals. එහෙම එක එක දේවල් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. But mainly this is what I expect you from for chemistry. And මේ ටික shape එක හිමින් සරේ ගන්න හදිසියක් නෑ. No need to bother buying it. It's not urgent. හිමින් සරේ shape එක ගන්න. හරි. When you are buying the resource book, no need to worry about the practical guide. Don't buy the practical guide. Only the theory resource books are enough from unit 1 to unit 14. If you can't buy all at once, just buy unit 1, 2, 3 book. It contains 1, 2, 3 and 6. ඔය පොත ගන්න මුලින්. ඒක ගත්තත් ඇති. ඒකත් මින් ඕනේ නැහැ. ඕන නම් ගන්න. Then that's the fifth one regarding our documents. මොනවාද අපි මේකේ documents විදිහට කරන්නේ? මොනවාද මේකේ තියෙන්නේ කියන එක. Right. Then from the beginning we discussed about what A level is. What I have done with my students for the previous 2 batch as an inexperienced tutor. That was the case those days. But still no one has been able to match that. And then thirdly, we discussed about, what did you discuss? The class plan, what you will be getting. That's the third one. Then the fourth one, what was the fourth one? The chemistry syllabus and the chemistry paper. And the fifth one is what documents you need to have. Not that urgent, but generally shape a cake with time by these when you are continuing your levels. Right. So those are the main five topics. Then what else do we have? Yeah. So I'll actually those are the main things which I wanted to discuss with you. Then I'll go into few more minor details, and then now you can actually start asking questions. We will be continuing this session until maximum 8:30, 8:35. No point on. So if you have questions now, you can send it to the YouTube live. So what I will be doing is I will be answering those, adding few more information, informing about our classes. Now the official thing is done. මගේ පැත්තෙන් දෙන official information ටික ඉවරයි. But the most important part, according to my opinion, is this Q&A sessions. Even though you might not have a question, the Q&A session is the most important part. ඒකේ තමයි ඇත්ත කතාව කතා වෙන්නේ. ළමයින්ට දින ප්‍රශ්න එන්නේ එතනදී. හරි. Now it's the chance you can ask questions. I will be answering the questions which have been sent to the chat by now. Should we purchase A-level chemistry resource book? Answer. Do you give recordings? I have... No, actually the Excel A-level chemistry book won't be that usual because the syllabuses are different. No need that. Yeah, regarding recordings. Now this is a very important topic. Regarding recording. The first thing is, recordings won't be given for forever. හැමදාටම recordings බලන්න බෑ. Now, if a student can't join our live classes physically or online on that time, if you contact our crew and say that, okay, I really want to join your classes, but I can't join on that time, we can consider giving you recordings, but we know when we are giving recordings, you won't watch that for at least a month. Then you will discontinue the class, no matter how much you wanted to join. That won't practically happen. Believe me, that won't happen. ඔයාට recording බලන්න බෑ. Imagine watching a 3-hour film, 3-hour movie every week for 3 years, which is boring. Film එකක් බලන්න පුළුවන්. Chemistry බලන්න බෑ. I mean, you get the idea. Film එකක් වගේ නෑනේ chemistry පාඩමක්, right? Get the idea. It's not always entertaining as a film. එහෙම වෙන්න බෑනේ. It's impractical. ඒක වෙන්නේ නෑ. හරි? It's impossible. Nearly impossible. Very few students will do that. But I will allow that. But remember that it's not අහන හින්දා බෑ ඉන්න එපා පන්ති එහෙම කියන්න බෑනේ. Then I will allow, okay, you can watch the recordings, but I know that won't happen. So always, if you really want to join our classes, if you think that this is the best place for English medium chemistry, you better join live or online. And the other question, if you miss a class, always from not the next now, for the Monday class, the recordings will be available from at least Wednesday. Sometimes it will be available from Tuesday, but at least on Wednesday, the recordings will be available. So if you miss 1 week, then on the Tuesday, or at least the Wednesday from the Monday class, the recordings will be available. Like a YouTube through බලන්න recording එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. Again, you need to access that. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ ඒ process එක පස්සේ inform කරන්න, because always we are like, we are not encouraging watching recordings, because we know the real story behind that. What happens when you start watching recordings? Always try to join live online or physically. That's I think you got the answer. And yeah, and when we give a recording, you can watch it many times. Forever but always try to join the live session and finish it there. If you start to compile recordings, one of the common issues students will face, if you have brothers and sisters, ask, one of the most common issues is, I have a lot of recordings to watch. මට පස්සේ දේවල් හිතන්නත් බෑ, මට A level focus කරන්නත් බෑ. ලොකු වැඩකම්ක් තියෙනවා which is watching recordings. තේරුමක් නැහැ. That's one but then again disadvantage of the post-corona era. Corona වලින් පස්සේ actually this online tuition developed a lot, which is good. හරි, which is good. එකේ නරක නෑ, හොඳයි. Now otherwise කොළඹ ළමයින්ට විතරනේ අපිට උගන්වන්න පුළුවන්. Then other students won't be having access to join our classes. අපිටත් අවුල් එක ළමයින්ටත් අවුල් නේ. It's good. ඒකේ නරක පැත්තක් අර කිටි. ටෙක්නොලොජි වල නරක පැත්තේ තියෙනවානේ. සමහර ළමයි ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් they start to compile recordings and they stop the classes simply because they can't continue watching recordings. තේරුමක් නෑ. හරි, what else do we have? Can you teach some minor parts? Okay. Actually, today we won't be teaching any chemistry. Other chemistry today is introductory. Today is the only day which I talk. මම කතා කරන්නේ එකම දවසද? එහෙනම් other chemistry ගන්න නැහැ. Now, if you want to really get an idea on how I am teaching, ඒකනේ අහන්නේ. Get an idea on how I am teaching, my teaching methods. The first day of our classes will be done free. පළවෙනි දවසේ you can join free, which is the next Monday. Next Monday you can join online or physically. How to join online or physical will be informed later. But you can join on that date for free, and then you can decide whether you need to continue the class or not. දැනට මම කියලා දෙනවානේ what we have done and what we can do and what you will be get. ඒකටත් වඩා මම උගන්වන එකත් බලන්න ඕන නම් that's good. That's what actually should happen. You can join on Monday, which will be done for free. පළවෙනි දවසේ ඇවිල්ලා බලන්න. And then where can I get the links? So what you need to do is, can you see a number being attached as the description saying inquiries? Contact that number, send a WhatsApp message saying 2027 A-level English medium Monday batch. Then everything will be informed and you will be added to a WhatsApp group. If you are on the WhatsApp group, please pay attention to the messages, because most of the questions asked from the students and parents were already informed on the WhatsApp group, and they were on the WhatsApp group, but බලලා තිබුණ නැහැ. ඉතින් එහෙම එපා. හරි. And then how should we make? Okay, I'll just payments can get now. Join money. Yeah, for a student who joins live, and if you feel that you are not understanding some concepts, we can provide you the recording, but make sure that you get rid of that habit as soon as possible, because if you make that a habit, I am joining the live session එකේ shape එක ගහන් ඉඳලා පස්සේ recording එක බලනවා කියලා, then that will end in a disaster. දැනට ඒක allow කරන්න පුළුවන්. Fees commitments. හරි. Everything regarding theory and memorizing, studying, ඒවා පස්සේ අපි කියලා දෙන්නම්. ඒක එච්චර හිතන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Right, about classes. Hari, about classes, right. Meanwhile, if you have any other questions, you can send it to the chat. Classes. Now, this is the introductory session which is done for the Monday batch. පටන් ගනිද්දිම කියවනේ නේ, this is for the Monday batch. This is for the Monday batch. Hari, this is for the Monday batch. Right. Now, this class will be happening from 3 to 6 p.m. Most of you might be aware. Now, if there is a student or a parent who is not on the WhatsApp group, it's important to be on the WhatsApp group. So send a text message to that number which I have given. If you want, I'll write it here as well. This is our number for our classes. Always I won't be answering. Mostly it will be a crew member. A crew member will be answering your calls and giving you the instructions. Right? Right. Then you have the Monday batch, which is from 3 to 6 p.m. on next week. We will be starting classes on next week, which is the 7th of April. Which is the 7th of April. Sorry. And then you can join online or physically. How to join online or physically will be informed on the WhatsApp group. And where do we have our physical classes located? The physical classes are happening at Delkanda CJ Institute. If you are near Colombo, I'll talk about that, about joining physically online, what is better. So this is for our Monday batch. Then again, we have the Wednesday class. The difference between the Wednesday class, both classes will be happening parallelly, but the difference is, now you can see in this session, 99% of what I'm talking is done using English. But when it comes to the Wednesday class, we will be using both Sinhala and English, but that class is again for mostly English medium students. The idea of that is some students, even though they do English medium, aren't that comfortable with speaking English. They did O-levels in Sinhala, now for some reasons they need to do English medium. And even though they did O-levels in English medium, because that's their native language, there's a requirement for that type of a class as well. So that's the difference between the Monday class and a Wednesday class. So if your native language is not Sinhala, definitely you need to join here. Again, if that doesn't matter, you can join here or there. මේකම වෙනස අර සිංහල ඉංග්‍රීසි මික්ස් එකේ කරන් යනවා. ඒක මෙච්චර කල් කරේ classes එහෙම තමයි. Now we have switched to only English medium class as well because that requirement is there as well. Hari, then Delkanda තියෙන්නේ කොයිද කියලා if you don't know, you know Nugegoda. Everyone knows Nugegoda. So it's near Nugegoda. Everything, the location, all the details will be shared. And then regarding what is better, whether it's better to join online or physically. අනේ. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නකුත් තියෙනවනේ. Fees ගැන කතා කරන්නම්, how to pay fees, everything ඒකම කතා කරන්නම්, බය වෙන්න එපා ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබ්බන්නේ. Right? Yeah. Regarding the fees, the fee structure. So not the fee, sorry, online or physically. Now, obviously, right? Obviously, students who are outstation can't join physically. Then, you are in Kurunagala. Can you join physically? You can't. You are in Jaffna. You can't join physically. You can't join. Then obviously you need to join online. Then if you are joining online, you need to know what are the disciplines you need to maintain when you are joining online. What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Then you need to be able to avoid those disadvantages. Ekane idea. Understand the advantages, understand the disadvantages, then you need to be able to avoid the disadvantages. Normally, if we consider the results of online students and physical students, both are the same. එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. ඒකේ idea එක තමයි වැඩ කරන කෙනා online නාවත් physically ආවත් වැඩ කරනවා. එච්චරයි. You might have your personal preference, accordingly you can select. But the first thing is, if you are joining online, there are certain advantages and disadvantages. Then you can avoid those. We will be discussing about those. කොහොමද online දැම් කියලා දෙන්නේ මෙතන physically එන්න බලන් ඉන්න අයටත් online එකේ ඒවා කියලා ඩක් නැහැ නේ. I will be discussing those later on the first day before we start the session, before we start the class. විනාඩි 5ක් විතර අරන් online students ලා maintain කරන්න ඕනේ disciplines ටිකක් තියෙනවා. All of those will be informed. All the disciplines which online students should maintain. හරි. ඒක කිසිම issue එකක් නැහැ. That's number 1. But if you are nearby, make important when this logic is important. If you are nearby, especially if you are in Colombo, you need to join physically. It's not actually a recommendation. I want you to join physically. The reason is, if you are in Colombo and you are not joining physically, that's because you are lazy. ඔයාට කම්මැලි පන්ති එන්නේ. ඒකයි ඔයා physically එන්නේ නැත්තේ. නේ? Except for මොකක් හරි exceptional case, මොකක් හරි අමුතු හේතුවක් නැත්නම් class එකක් ඒ වෙලාවටම වගේ ඉවරනවා, then you can't join physically. True. Apart from that, if you are in Colombo, if you are nearby and you are not joining physically, simply because you are lazy. Then how can you guarantee you being in an online meeting and listening to what I'm saying and focusing to what I'm saying? Simply because of that, if you are in Colombo, you need to join physically. That's a must. Obviously, apart from that, it doesn't matter whether you join online or physically. Definitely, some sessions will be done as free sessions. Some extra sessions will be done only in online. And as A-level students, you need to be able to be responsible, no matter how you join, to get a good result. Join method won't impact your A-level result if you can do the process. Online now, fail physically fail. So you can think about it, but in my opinion, both have the equal weight. It can be a case-by-case scenario though, but except one case, if you are in Colombo, you need to join physically, otherwise you are lazy. Then you think you won't do well in online class. Except for that, that's the idea. You can join online or physically. The location then if you are joining online, there will be a website. Register everything will be informed. For the registration, no payment is required. Just you need to create an account. Or Facebook account. Inform. Please pay attention to the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, what will happen? 2 minutes before the class starting, you will send me or the crew member a text. I am not on the website. Where is the Zoom link? What can I do then? Our crew members need to accept you to the website. Discipline. Then that's about the Monday batch. And if you are interested about joining our classes on the Wednesday batch, which is done in both Sinhala and English, again for English medium students mainly, that is on Wednesday. This is the Monday batch. That class which I said is on Wednesday. Again, the same time, same location, everything is same. Classes will be happening parallel. Then even for the 2026 batch, we have 2 classes like this. And what else? Wednesday class Can't remember. The introductory session for the Wednesday class will be starting at 9 p.m. No need to join it because the same content in Sinhala and English will be said. Right. That's the idea. And then what else do I need to answer? Nothing. Then one more thing about the fees, right? And how to make the payments. Now, how to make the payments will be informed later because the first day will be free. Then you will be having the single and in the new year. Then that week classes won't be happening. The classes we will be holidays. Then on the third week only you need to make the payment. Then everything will be informed by that how to make the payments. A card payment, the physically pay karna, the a bank slip, the all the possible all the facilities have been provided. No need to worry about the tute deliveries. Everything will be done on time. No tutes will be delivered in April. The first tute will be delivered in May. The first tute is required on May. If we need any document, everything will be sent to your WhatsApp group. You can just get a simple PDF printout, right? Like P2 deliver for the online students. If we want to give you a 2-page document, then that will be sent to the WhatsApp group. For the moment, later it will be sent to a Google Classroom. Implement so you can get a printout there. The tutes will be delivered. For physical students, we will be giving on the class. Right. Then the fee for the class will be 4,000. Right? For the class will be 4,000. This is a monthly payment. Make a monthly payment. Whether you join online or physically, whether you join on the Monday class or Wednesday class, make a fee. When options, this is the fee. Right? Then I think most of the questions is being answered. Then if you want to ask any question, now is the time. We have around 10 minutes left. Hari. Oya hitala balanna. Oya compare karala balanna. Always compare whether you are joining the best place. ඕගොල්ලෝ මේ ක්ලාස් එකට එන්නේ. Now most of you from the beginning were listening to what I am saying without even knowing me, without having seen me previous. මගේ ෆොටෝ එකක් දැකලා ඇති. මගේ නම ප්‍රසිද්ධ නිසා ඕගොල්ලෝ ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ because of the noise you haven't come here නේ. මම ප්‍රසිද්ධ නිසා ඕගොල්ලෝ ඇවිල්ලා බලලා හැමෝම යන නිසා එහෙම නැහැ නේ. අපි popular teachers ලා නෙවෙයි. We might not be popular. We are not doing a lot of marketing. The only thing we expect is to teach well, have a good program, then we get good results. හොඳ result ඕන කට්ටිය එන්න අනිත් කට්ටිය ආවෙ නැතුනට අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. That's how we teach. So if you really think that's what you want, you can continue. If not, it's up to you. කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හරිද? Right, then do you have any more questions? Do you have any more questions? මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් you can ask. I'll wait for like 5 or 6 more minutes. If you don't have any questions, you can. Should we pay for the tute? No need to pay for the tute. So the mega hidden payments නෑ, right? Tute එකට ආයෙ ගෙවන්න එහෙම මොකුත් නෑ. Tute is inclusive. අර extra sessions වලට ආයෙ ගෙවන්න you need to pay again for more seminars. එහෙම මේ ගසා ගන්න නෑ. That's the payment that remains. හරිද? එච්චරයි. Monthly, weekly, and don't pay 4,000 for a weekly basis, right? එහෙම සල්ලි ගෙවන්න එපා, right? I don't know, in my opinion. Don't allow anyone to get that much of a fee from you. එහෙම ඕනේ නැහැ. එහෙම එපා එක පිළිවෙලකට කරන් යන්න පුළුවන් එහෙම නැත්නම්. එහෙම ඕනේ නැහැ. So it's a monthly fee. 4,000 is a monthly fee, right? Anything else? තාම මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට? Right? කරානේ tute එක deliver කරන ඒ ඔක්කොටම තමයි payment එක, and then that's a monthly payment. හරි. චලද? And one more thing. One more thing. Before we finish, we might have we'll wait for 2-3 minutes before I finish the session. Few more things from my side as well. But before that, I'll give you the opportunity to ask any questions if you have. Now, if there is a personal question which you don't want to ask on the chat, right? Again, you can contact us on the number. And if you want to contact me myself, inform the crew member. If a crew member answers that you want to contact the teacher, then I can answer your questions. Sorry. ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. එක සමහර ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. මෙතන අහන්න කැමති නෑ. Understandable. What else? What else? එච්චරද? හරි වගේ නේද? හරි. Then you can ask questions if you have on the WhatsApp group. Always, sorry, on the send us a text. And always, the first thing before we start classes, you need to do is always pay attention to your WhatsApp group. Now, there are some students who might be joining from their parents' numbers. Some parents might be missing text because simply they might not be that familiar with these things. අපි ඉතින් A level පොඩ්ඩක් online classes, physical classes මේ groups එක not like O levels ඉතින් මේක පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ වැඩි. එතකොට sessions දානවා, we send YouTube link කියයි, Zoom link කියයි, free session කියයි, නේ recordings කියයි. ඒක වෙන වැඩක් නේ දැන් නේ. You get it? Even for a physical students, you need to be some sort of familiar with the social media thing. ඒකල පොඩ්ඩක් familiar වෙලා වැඩේ කරන් යන්න. And the next thing which I want from you is the only advertising method is you. Right? අපිට තියෙන එකම advertising method එක ඕගොල්ලෝ. අපි ad එකක් එහෙම දැම්මොත් මිසක් මේ පොඩි කොල කෑල්ලක් බෙදුවොත් මිසක් the real advertisers are you who can spread the message. නැත්තම් මේ results ටික විතරයි තියෙන්නේ අමාරුවෙන් ගන්නලා ගත්ත. හරි? So what I want from you is spread the message. If you have a friend who is searching for an English medium chemistry class, if you think this is the place, inform that friend as well. Then that person can contact me or the crew and then everything will be informed as well. හරි? ඒක තමයි මම ඕගොල්ලන්ගෙන් ෆේවර් එකක් විදියට ඉල්ලන්නේ ඒක. මොකද අපි අර මාකටිං කරලා ළමයි ගෙන්නන්න එහෙම කැමති නෑ ඒක ඉතින් මගේ විදිහ. So because of that, if you feel that this is the place, you can continue on from Monday and also you can spread the message as a favor. That's the only thing which I can ask from your side. හරි. ඒවා ඉතින් පස්සේ කියන්නම් මේ on the submissions homework ඒවා අර minor details නේද? Everything will be informed on the at the relevant time for homework. ඒවා ඉතින් the class everything regarding how we teach inside our class you will understand. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට දැන් අපි මෙහෙම structure එක කිව්වට you won't be convinced on how this class has been achieved this much of results නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ the first thing when I published this result, most of the society was claiming this as fake. හරිද? ඇත්තටම එහෙම වුණා. I had to answer the society. Fake එක. ඇත්තටම මේක unrealistic. හරි. ඒකින්ද ඔයා convince වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. You can join on the day one and then you will understand how the class is being done. දවස් දෙක තුනක් continue කරන්න. Then you will understand it. හරි. Right. වෙන මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? එච්චරයි නේ. I think that would be it. Okay, then that's it for today, right? Then I hope to meet you on next Monday. Students who are nearby, who are in the Colombo district, join physically, right? Every location ඔක්කොම share කරන්න. Online students can join online through our website. Registration process එක inform කරන්න. The first week is free, so anyone can join. ඔයාලා ඕනේ කෙනෙක්ට කියලා එක්කන් එන්න because the class is free the first day. And then yeah, if you have questions, send it to the chat. මම මේ කියපුවා හිතලා බලන්න. Then that's it for today. I hope to meet you on next Monday. Thank you for joining today and listening to me. Yeah, then let's meet on next Monday. Thank you. If you have questions, send it to the WhatsApp. All right. Right. I will be ending the live in about 1 minute.